Welcome to Center of Light. Good to see you tonight. Always good to see you. Always good to be with you. Welcome, everyone. All right. Tonight is Center of Light Magical. Getting into the realm of magic. I love magic. Manifesting. Synchronicity. Alignments. All that cool stuff, right? There you go. There's some magic right there. Let me do a little something. Didn't want that, that's for sure. Let me grab some music. Is this background here? Please feel free to share this where you can, if you will. That wasn't supposed to happen. I'm gonna do this right. There we go. I'm gonna drop this over here. All right. There we go. Welcome to Center of Light, everybody. Good to see you. I've been wanting to do this presentation since last week, and I got caught up in my week. I got my beautiful son for the weekend. Always a joy to be around. This boy is brilliant. Oh my God. He says words, his word usage. I'm like, bro, did you just really use that word consciously? It wasn't just a word he heard. He knows exactly what it means. Speaking of magic, he's a magical one. We see this with pretty much all children. But speaking about my son, he will use something. For example, we're watching TV and they'll say something on TV that he doesn't really know about. And I'll see him pick up his phone. So after a while, I started realizing there's a pattern here. And I said, are you looking up this word or this meaning of something that was just portrayed? He said, yes, I am. So he's a little walking encyclopedia. KK says just like his dad. Hello, Dana. It's good to see you on YouTube. Hello, Soma on YouTube. Everyone, good to see you. Joe Schruger, what's up, bro? Ham sandwich. Kelly Bauman. All right, I want to say again, as always, thank you, Dr. Katie Camara. Our GoFundMe. I gotta refresh my screen. I don't know why. Our GoFundMe. It's very successful. We have a little ways to go. Center of Light fundraiser. It's now in the forum. Please feel free to share. Please feel free to donate. Or you can simply say a prayer or blessing over it. I'd appreciate it greatly. So I've been wanting to do this presentation last week, and my weekend got busy. Center of Light magical. I exist. What is this I? We would likely say it's me. I'm this I. Well, there's sort of a difference between the I and the me. I implies I, the divine I. Me is a little more ego-based, a little lower vibrationally based base kind of thing. But I exist. I am. I'm all powerful. I'm all knowing. I'm everywhere. Creator. Created in the similitude of the Father Mother principle. We're everywhere. Who is this I? Now it changes its perspective completely. Absolutely completely. Small shift, big difference. I exist. You exist. We exist. If that ain't magic, I don't know what is. What if all of it's true? All of it. That's magical, I tell you. What if none of it exists? None of it. And you're the one here creating all this. It's magical, I tell you. You exist. I exist. We exist. Unicorns exist. Dragons exist. All myth, all folklore, they come from some degree of truth, an element of truth at least. They do. I was going to make this presentation somewhat about unicorns. We'll see how Spirit guides this. But I used unicorns not really as clickbait, but to paint an element, to paint a picture, magical. Unicorns are known to be magical. Rainbows going across, the bridge, and shamrock coming out of a pot of gold. It's magical. Do you believe in magic? Many people believe that beautiful, white, loving magic is something else. Well, that's tragic. And that's something else entirely. Magic. You are a sorcerer. I am a sorcerer. We are sorcerers. We come from the creative source, the divine principle. So, if our parent is the source, hello Dolores, if our parent is the source, then of course we are sorcerers. But the term was used to describe the negative connotation and negative quality of being able to wield power. We're all wielding the same power. No one has greater power than anybody else. Don't believe the nonsense. You will have no more power when you become enlightened than you have right now at whatever level you are. How is that so? Because everything around you that's happening, you are creating in this moment. You powerful being, you unicorn seeker, you dragon warrior. The difference is we're clear of what we are creating, because the mind is no longer filtered through doubt, fear, nonsense, whatever it is we do as human beings to play around with the monkey in the head. You are no more powerful when you become enlightened than you are right now. You are taking the universe and drawing it into yourself and putting your own beautiful spin on it, and you're tossing it back into the world of make-believe. It's the world of make-believe. You are making it because you are believing it. You ask an 8-9-year-old child, is Santa Claus real? And watch what they tell you. Because to them, Santa Claus is very magical and it's very real. And somehow we've robbed our own innocence of such beautiful magic. And I don't mean like Santa Claus. However, somewhat I do. Santa Claus is real. So much so, come December, everybody's shopping. Oh, that's commerce, I get it. But there is a currency in simply believing in beautiful ideas, fanciful ideas. Daydreaming is a wonderful thing. Imagination is a wonderful thing. Hello, Elaine. Belief is a wonderful thing, provided that said belief doesn't become a crutch for laziness. Instead, it becomes a catalyst to launch you into absolute knowing. Belief in Santa Claus is beautiful. It never has to die. There's no need for expansion from it. It's a beautiful belief. Beliefs are great, believing in things are great. But sometimes belief of just not wanting to do anything else to find out about the greater degrees of realities, it keeps you there. And that's okay if that's what you choose, but choose it consciously. Belief is here. Knowing is here, and it's expansive forever. It forever turns within itself for greater degrees, to know itself to greater degrees, infinitely. So when one halts themselves in belief because they were told, it'll keep you there, and you will get old. But the belief I'm speaking about is belief in magic, belief in goodness, belief in the goodness of humanity. Even though through all this insanity, dear Lord, magic. Magic. It's everywhere. Do you see it? Do you see it? I would go fund me. Magic, it's everywhere. Let's see what's happening in the room. Hello, all you beautiful souls. My brother Joe Schruger says, magic, sleeping giant, awake and ready. I love that, dude. I love it. Katie Camara says, believe in an everyday sort of magic. Have to believe we are magic. Nothing can stand in our way. If all your heart survives, destiny will arrive. The inexplicable connectedness we sometimes experience with places, people, works of art, and the like. The eerie appropriateness of the moments of synchronicity, the whispered voice. Elaine says, no, I know the magic is real. She has experienced unicorns and fairies. You go, girl. Fantastic, fantastic. Tonight is Center of Light magical. You are a magical being. How are you spinning your energy? How are you wielding your sword? How is the unicorn or the dragon you are riding atop of, where is it going? Unicorns, scientists say, did exist. They found in 2016 an actual fossil, and I get it. There's some anomalies that happen in the creation of all species, even human beings. People are born with horns growing out of their head. But this is a concrete archaeological find that they did lots of research. And the most accurate finding belief system surrounding the unicorn, to the degree that we know unicorns to be magical, in the angelic fairy kingdom like kind of unicorn, right? When he farts, rainbows come out. Was in India. But if you get on YouTube, Google, and look up unicorns history, enlighten yourself. It's magical. So let's get down to some presentation. Tonight, Essential Light, magical. I exist. Meaning the unicorn. From the unicorn's perspective, I exist. All right. Power. Information is power. When we are in information, we're in conscious power. We always have the same power, conscious or not. Because you're the God of your universe. You're the God of yourself. You're the God, you're the sovereign one. Power gives us the ability and the potential to break through any obstacles. So enters Ganesh, Lord Ganesh, the elephant. What can an elephant do? It can move anything out of its way. There's nothing in its way. My brother Ted Cruz says, you're magical, brother. Oh, bro, back at you, mirror. And that breakthrough brings us to the connection of love itself. Remember, it is very important. Here's a new slogan for at least until it's no longer, I feel complete with it. It's very important that you stay internally referenced to monitor your feeling. Feelings. Feeling as an overall, as a bass tone. How do you feel, dear one? I feel great. You don't have to go into all these little subfolders. Well, I feel good here, not so good here. Because lots of the I don't feel so good here are not feelings at all. They're emotions. Too much monkey mind involved. Remove the monkey out of it, then it becomes more pure, more magical feeling. Children of Immortality, I wrote this last year. Something said grab it. You magical little creatures, you, all of you. I love it. Children of immortality, there is no true, there is no false. It would be of great benefit if you stop dividing. There is no dark, there is no light, there is no black, there is no white, day or night. There is no reality or illusion. Therein lies your confusion. So stop dividing. There is no heaven, there is no hell. Maybe, just maybe, you are under a spell. Everything exists and at the same time don't. The problem you are having is not because of I will, but because of I won't. Infinity is not divided. It's magical. You are not separate from that and just not seeing that. So what I suggest is that you stop dividing. There is only one glue, my friend, to mend the rent. Love. For it's the only thing I think of. There is so much love can do. It can feel the cracks in the body, emotions in mind, the wounds you call you, only because you are blind. I hand you the prescription to rid all your woes and correct your myopic vision. Help you to see what's under your nose by offering you this wise decision. Don't be afraid or a bit too excited, for if you do, you will overshoot your target and become divided. Take this poem, truth and piece of inspiration. Apply always and dance in liberation. I am Michael the Archangel. I will always come when you call. I am here with you now and forever. I will never let you fall. It's magical. In fact, I am here to carry you to the altar of exaltation. Hear me, O children of immortality. Today is graduation. It's magical. It's everywhere. I'm expanding. I'm learning. I'm turning. I'm churning. I'm burning for something. We all are. Keep doing it. It's going to catch up to you. And you're going to be magically kissed on your beautiful heart. French kiss. Isn't that what you want? That's what I want. In fact, everyone seeks the same thing differently. Even in violence, even in crime, even in misery. There's only one source, I tell you. That's it. There's only one source. And everyone's drawn back to the source using what they know how to do that. And some people play in their misery to get attention because they want the same beautiful things that we all do, I should mention. That's why non-judgment is so important. Even people who are troubled are looking for the same magic you and I are looking for. They're just not so good at it. Hello, beautiful Melinda. She says, I saw a unicorn come out from behind a cloud after I did the Diana Cooper unicorn cards. Fantastic. It's magical. You have to have had one moment in your life. I understand the law and the spiritual principle of manifestation. We all get that. Magic is that, but it has a different little magical spin to it. A more innocent quality, a childlike quality. Magic. I believe in magic. Peter Pan, Walt Disney, the little fairy on Sunday night at 6 o'clock, back all those years ago. Magic, the magic kingdom, the land of all possibilities. But manifesting is a little different. It's a little more schooled on how to do a something. Or rather, the unlearning of how we think to do a something, which brings us back to our youth and innocence, back into the belief of magic. All right. Tonight is Center of Light, magical. Lean into that word, magical. Has a different tone to it. Song break. Gonna be right back. I have some really cool presentations coming up for you by Shunya Murdy and the like. It's Sadhguru as well, and someone else you might know. Let's see, we're going to play tonight. Nah, let's go right into it. I'm going to go into a video. How about I just don't say anything about it? We'll just get right in and make a sandwich. Tonight is Center of Light Magical. I exist. Who is this I? It's you. It's me. We. Right now you exist. And you will never, your consciousness can, not only will, can never be extinguished. Ever. So from the rest of not only your life, but between now and forever, you are safe because you wield the magic. Hello everyone, Keith Anthony Blanchard here, spiritual teacher, best-selling author, and radio show host of Center of Light Radio, which broadcasts every Monday night 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can find that show at centeroflightradio.com. I've been having a lot of response, overwhelming response at that, of these Burst of Light installments. I really enjoy doing them. I love empowering people with the tools they need so they can create their best life. That's my gig. You can call me the Passion Guru. I love giving the tools of empowerment to you. That gift was given to me by someone many, many years ago, and I love paying it forward. Today, I want to talk to you about manifesting, the art of manifesting your life. It is an art. We manifest our lives all the time, whether we know that we do it deliberately or not, consciously or not. Our life, as I said before, is an ongoing, never-ending prayer. And what we ask for, consciously or not, we get. So even though we manifest our lives by default, wouldn't you agree that we might as well get with the conscious, deliberate program of manifesting so we can have exactly what we want? I did talk to you in a past installment about how asking for nothing, wanting nothing, and letting go brings all that which you want into your life. But also there's the active part of that, which is doing your part to consciously create deliberately. How do you do that? The first and foremost principle I would like to offer to you, and I'm sure many of you spiritualists out there understand that everything is connected. You've heard in the spiritual movement, we are one, we are all one. It doesn't mean exactly that you are always one with people, but it also means that you're one with everything. That chair, that car, that person as well. But every aspect of the outer world, it's just a reflection of your inner self. As they say in the movie, The Matrix, there is no spoon. This is the absolute truth of it. There is no spoon. There is no chair. There is no job. There is no partner. There is no money. It's all you. It's all about you. And so the nuts and bolts of it is to take the idea from here. It's to take the idea that you're connected to every here and bring it here, all one, and really begin to explore and play with this energy. And as you begin to manipulate yourself in this way, you will learn, you will refine the process, and your outward manifestations, or the lack thereof, will be the sounding board for you to test, to judge how you are doing in the process of developing your manifesting muscles. When I want to create something in my life, I use passion, I use sincerity, I use fire, I use one-pointed focus. I have also learned to remove myself of the belief that, am I really going to get this? It is a fact. And it's more of a learning curve that I have to go through for each particular thing or idea that I want to manifest in my life. But the idea is to become the very thing that you are wanting to show up in your experience. For example, let's just use a car. Hot rod. Nice red Ferrari. This is something you want. Yeah, but that's really out of my league. It's a little expensive. Just keep in mind, this might be the perfect analogy for you because you believe it's out of your league and it's very expensive. and the upkeep and the maintenance would be up there in the dollar figures. But this is all belief inside of one person's head. So how do I get this Ferrari, Mr. Keith Blanchard? Well, I'm still working on that myself, but I can tell you that this manifesting technique has worked wonders in my life. For example, the Ferrari. If you want this car, you have to make it real within yourself. It's not about the money. What you really want is not the car. What you really want is the feeling that the red Ferrari will bring you. So what I suggest you do is go down to the car dealership who has such automobiles on their lot. Look at one, admire it, touch it, appreciate it, sit in the seat. Ask if you can test drive the car. Do this once a week, once a month. Make the experience real. Feel the car, feel the steering wheel in your hand, feel the engine as it purrs under you. You have to make this tangible within yourself and be excited about it, because it's that level of excitement that will bring about the car into your experience. But yeah, Keith, where will I get the money? It's not about the money. That is not your job. Your job is not the knowing how. The job is firing up your own Ferrari here, your own automobile, your own fire, your own spiritual Ferrari engine. Who knows? You may help someone one day who happens to be a multi-gazillionaire. And through your helping, the car may be gifted to you. Now, you can use this technique in any area of your life. You want a particular relationship in your life. Be that particular relationship. And by law, it will manifest in your life. How does it go in the movie? I think it's The Secret. This lady was talking about the idea, I'm going to paraphrase this, of course, that she wanted a mate. And she realized that she kept sleeping in the middle of the bed, not realizing that she's taking up the whole bed, hogging the whole bed, and couldn't see how she was not leaving room in her life for a mate to show up and occupy one particular side of the bed. And she was doing the same thing, parking her car in her two-car garage, right in the middle, so another car couldn't fit. Another person could not fit in her life. When this dawned upon her of what she was doing and metaphorically saying to the universe, she began to park a car on one side of the garage, leaving room for someone else to park their car in her spiritual garage. But also, at the same time, she began to sleep on her favorite side of the bed, leaving room for that same particular person to show up in her life. And as I said before in another Burst of Light installment, it's about making yourself available, making yourself open. You have to have an emptiness about you for that which you want to call into your life to show up. Then again, the principle applies. Realize that you are not separate from that which you want to bring into your experience. Well, yeah, Keith, I know. It goes way beyond that. In fact, it's a lot more subtler. It's easier than it is difficult. Relax into that experience. Believe in yourself. Believe in the power. The power that lives in your heart is the power that creates worlds and universes. So a simple red Ferrari should be easy, right? Well, it is. I leave this with you. Get to working on manifesting your dreams. Keith Anthony Blanchard here. Again, you can find me at keithanthonyblanchard.com or centeroflightradio.com. I look forward to seeing you on my shows on Monday. I have great guests, scientists, doctors, people who have walked their talk and are ready and willing to empower you with the wisdom and knowledge that they have gleaned through their life experience. Peace, love, and light to you. Chat with you soon, and always remember, ease into bliss. Have a phenomenal day. Welcome back to Center of Light. Good to see you tonight. Center of Light Magical. I exist. That's magical shit. You exist. Out of nothing, here you are. But even more magical than that, you are the out of nothing than the here you are. That's riding a unicorn. That's riding a dragon like the chick from the Game of Thrones. She had 2 of them, in fact. She was so magical. Tonight is Center of Light Magical. I exist. From the unicorn as well as Bigfoot's perspective. I exist. I exist. Everything exists. Keith, are you sure about that? I'll leave this with you. The fact that you are pondering, postulating, meditating, considering that unicorns exist, they at least exist in your mental framework. Maybe that's the bridge to cross into the forest, the magical forest, the magic kingdom. Tonight is Center of Light Magical. I exist. 4 things you can never, ever change. Never change. You can never change this. No one can change it. Even God itself can't change it. That's how magical it is. 4 things you can never change. Number 1, you exist. You were never created. The light does not live in you, nor were you created. You are the light, and you are eternal. But we identify ourselves a lot with this self-image, and it's wonderful and beautiful. We get to play and have fun as individuals until we miss the magic. 4 things you can never change. I exist. You exist. Number 2, all is the one and one is the all. None of us can change this. This is the foundation of anything. Foundation. It's a center of light foundation. It's the center of all beingness. The foundation of creation. All is one and one is all. Number 3, what you put out, you get back. Because you are magical. You are no more magical when you become fully enlightened, full-blown lit, and jiggy wit than when you're not. The same creator lives in all of us that creates worlds and universes. And on Earth, there are 8 point whatever billion people. There are 8 point whatever billion worlds and universes on this Earth. So there are 8 billion plus worlds on this world walking around. You've heard the expression, well, they're in their own world. Everybody has their own world. My experience, my reality is nothing like yours, and vice versa. Number 4 of the 4 things you can never change ever. It's the foundation of the universe. The universe itself can't change it, or the universe would shut itself down. 4 things you can never change. You exist. All is one and one is all. What you put out, you get back. In number 4, the only thing that will never change is change itself forever in this temporal world that we have been given the opportunity to magically be a part of. Audio bite number 2. Shanya Murdy is going to speak about white magic. We use terms, colors to describe principles, ideas. White magic, black magic. It's just magic. If you fucking around with nonsense, well, that's just what you're doing. And law number 3 says, what you put out, you will get back. So, white magic, using something for wielding your sword, your power, your will, your love, to expand yourself and others around you is true magic. It's the land of the unicorns, fairies, angels, and dragons. Shanya Murdy on white magic.
Yes. You've recently changed the theme of the upcoming meditation intensive in September, the basis of white magic. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to ask why you had chosen to do that at this time, and also what is white magic?
Okay. This is a very deep and nuanced subject, right? Which is why a whole retreat is necessary, and I can't give you a very brief answer that really gets to the depths of it, or we'll be here all night just on this one question. But the original capacities of the human being in our purest state of consciousness before the fall, in that lost golden age that's now a legend or a myth, but is in fact a reality, we were avatars, manifestations of that supreme power of God that made us also total masters over magic. Because magic, the same word magia is maya, it's the illusion. But when you are master over the illusion, you can use the illusion to bring great joy. You can manifest what you want. You want a milkshake in the palm of your hand? I don't think you will in the golden age, but whatever it is you want, you got a drink. You know, it's like on Star Trek. They have those machines that do it. But in Satyuga, we do it just with our minds. And that's why we can create flying machines and have all kinds of technological capacities that don't come from needing computers and other modern technological apparatus, because it's all done totally within consciousness itself. But these powers are present. And once the fall happened, then especially after the Copper Age, the ancient civilizations that were not at the level of Satyuga, but were, from our perspective, filled with tremendous wisdom and power that we no longer have, like ancient Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, places like that, Hyperborea, that are again now mostly shrouded in mythical, mysterious, distorted understanding. But these much higher civilizations were the last civilizations to be able to use magic in a legitimate way that was truly white magic, because there were still priests, shamans, beings of great integrity and light, who were the pillars of those civilizations and the leaders, who were able to use those powers for good without being corrupted. Once we entered into Kali Yuga, every ego became corruptible, including shamans and including yogis, including Brahmins, priests, etc., who were vowed to be pure and uncorruptible, but could not keep their vows. Just that power was lost. And so in that time period, it became one of the laws of the Dharma that yogis should not practice magic. Okay. Now there were those who broke away from that and took the Vama Marga, the left-hand path, and went into magic. And this is part of what Tantra became about, and various other esoteric, let's say, shoots of the yogic mainstream. But because the magic that was used in order to bring about results that favored the magician or the magician's client, or for whomever the magus was working, it led to more negative karma. And it became a temptation that could cause a yogi to deviate from the goal of liberation from the cycle of birth and death into, claiming the power of some supernormal capacity, including longevity, but that would ultimately then lead to a worse downfall and not to liberation. So it was not, it is not advisable for anyone to use those powers so long as they are in a corruptible state. Okay? Having said that, we are now at the end of Kali Yuga. And at this time, at the end of Kali Yuga, and the period just before the planet enters the next singularity and the portal to a new cycle of time, now it becomes important for the return of the Magi and those magical capacities in order to be able to traverse what we must face in the downfall of civilization that's imminent, and in the dealing with the planetary ruins of a Mad Max level of chaos that we will have to pass through, in which those magical powers will become essential. But they are only activatable once you have transcended the ego. The ego will not be able to use the power of white magic. So there's a fail-safe protection in this. But if we reach that avataric level prior to the end of the yuga and the kalpa, then those powers will enable us to pass through into the next cycle, or to transcend the cycle, but to be able to offer a protective energy field to those who are to be the, let's say, founding inhabitants of the next Sat-yuga. So there will be a kind of angelic role, even if one has left the body, that will enable the use of those powers in a non-local space to provide protection and divine assistance to those who require it and have earned that right. So there is a lot that needs to be done, and the methods of knowing how to do them is being given again. The wisdom is returning, but again, it will only be useful to those who have purified the soul, made the body into a temple of God, and can then use that knowledge as a resource for guardianship of the, let's say, the colony of those who are becoming avatars and angels in the physical plane, in order to be able to complete their development and be undisturbed by the chaotic vibrational field that will be surrounding them. And this knowledge, therefore, will be given to whomever in the world has reached the level of consciousness that they are able to access it. So the basis of white magic, and why this retreat is called that, is that we must first establish the foundation upon which those magical understandings and powers are given, and then the actual technical development of them can proceed. So the basis is not the basics. It's actually the most advanced level, because you have to have achieved liberation, and then bring the power that comes with that and the authority into a form where it morphs into mastery. So this has to happen within an ethical context and within a context of very strict self-regulation of consciousness that must never fall below a certain level. If it does, then all that has been gained will be drained away. And so this is why the idea in alchemy of the hermetically sealed vessel is so important. There must be no leakage of energy through desire or fear. And one must never touch the earth plane. One must remain in the light. The body-mind will function through the ray that connects the mind via the pineal gland and the Jyotibindu, the light that shines there from the Atman. But the Atman remains transcendent of the holographic field and must never again enter into it in the form of any egoic identity, even an exalted identity. There must be a complete union with the source, and only from there can the magic be, let's say, manifested and transmitted. So I hope that's helpful. This is the time, it's probably the last opportunity before the world gets too chaotic to be able to develop these understandings and practices, and to have the luxury of being able to work together to enhance the powers of our consciousness, to prepare for that final stage of what is about to happen on this planet, and to be able to meet the forces of darkness with the power of light in its fully transcendent and invincible form, so that victory will be attained by the forces who are loyal to God. And it must be understood at the highest level, not transformed into some jihadic kind of parody of itself. And it must remain very clear that we're talking about love and wisdom in a context of non-violence and non-identification with a body and non-local consciousness. Unless it's within that paradigm, it will be distorted. Okay. So does that help to give the understanding of why we're doing a retreat like this? It's essential for those who are ready, and they will know if they are called to participate in something like this.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Good to see you tonight. Tonight is Center of Light Magical. I exist. You exist. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. And you will forever exist. And there's not a damn thing anything or anyone can do about it. You are magical. As Shunyamurti overview, so what I'm looking for, what he said basically is, you wield magic, you wield power. You are no more magical when you become enlightened than you are right now. There's just no filter in the way. So you wield magic, and you must do everything you can to not fuck with it, to use it for desire. I mean, I get desire. I have desire, and I use my magic to get a parking spot or to do this or that. I get that. But he means desire. My desire is so strong, it doesn't matter how I crush anyone else. Use it, magic, power, your will, your being, your folly, to get your jolly that overrides someone else's happiness. Not because they're leaning into you, so much so that you are their happiness, meaning screwing people over. You will pay the price. Twice, thrice, quad. Hello, Leanne. You wield the magic. In fact, that's not even true. It's not the most accurate statement. You don't wield the magic. You are the magic. It's tragic when we don't see that. And the same magic we have all the time, unconsciously. becomes magician's tricks. And we try to manipulate people. We all learn, we all grow, but into the magic kingdom we go. Sadhguru, from magic to mysticism. Leanne says, field is our magic field. I don't know if she means feel or field, the unified field, but Leanne, please feel free to elaborate. Tonight is Center of Light magical. Everything's backwards. Center of Light magical. I exist. You will forever exist. That should provide some relief. Good grief. We go through stages of death every day. The world as we knew it has died. So I understand your grief and your belief. But the age of believing is knowing. The age of believing is over. It's now the season of knowing. Sadhguru, from magic to mysticism. This is about 12 minutes long. Enjoy it. If you're here for the ride, ride it. Get on your horse, your magical unicorn, cowboy, cowgirl. This is not your first rodeo. I love it so much.
Mysticism is not some magic. Mysticism is just this. Anything that you do not understand or perceive is mysterious to you, isn't it? Yes or no? Let us say, this is 1,000 years ago, all of you are sitting here somewhere outside, and I came cycling. You had never seen a bicycle, you don't know what's the concept of a bicycle. I came cycling on these thin 2 wheels. Then I say, I just rode down from heaven and I'm here. You'll believe it. Then I'll pick up somebody who's most inefficient and say, you come, you try, can you do this? Of course he will fall down. Then it's established, I rode down from heaven and things. Because anything that you don't understand looks mysterious to you. Anything that you cannot perceive, if somebody perceived, it looks absolutely magical to you, isn't it? But today generally, we call this engineering. What was magic at one time is engineering today, isn't it? From here, if I just, along with this seat, if I just float around, so wow, what is this new technology? You will not check from which heaven I came from. So I'm saying you are more eligible for mysticism than ever before because you see there are possibilities which we have not yet explored.
I'm a little bit perplexed when I'm talking to people who are younger, like say 20 years old, or in a mode of strengthening their individuality and being actually totally resistant to this idea that they need to let the guard down.
Say, about a year and a half ago, nearly 2 years ago, we launched a movement called Youth and Truth. This is not an advice thing, this is not a religion. This is not some philosophy we're going to advise you how to be. Just, you have questions. When you're young, you have lots of questions. Whatever kind of question you bring, we will answer as it's sensible for you, in some way that it makes sense to you. And it picked up so much momentum that, as I'm saying, over 162 universities right now invites are waiting, we're just not able to go. So what is it that draws them? So, I'm in Bangalore city. They've been inviting me to all these under 25 conferences, you know. There are under 25 conferences. Only those who are under 25, somehow I am eligible. Well, nearly 13,000 youth are sitting there, strong smell of marijuana, okay. So, there are many ways to approach them, I'm saying a simple way.
Just look at my eyes. I'm always stoned. Ask the youth, are they interested? Without going to the back streets and buying, simply sitting here and stoned out, would they be interested? All of them are interested. That's why they're after me. So, don't try to teach them a philosophy. Give them a better alternative. Hello? Give them a better alternative. Why will they not go for it? Because youth don't want to listen to the rubbish that the old people are talking endlessly. They're always talking about things which have not worked in their life. When I say it's not worked, I'm saying how people were when they were 5, 6 years of age, how joyful and exuberant they were. By the time they're 30, how they become. Has it worked, I'm asking? At 5, if you're so joyful, by the time you're 30, you should be ecstatic if you had grown up. Just the reverse has happened, obviously it's not worked. Nonsense has survived for too long on the basis of being the authority. A time has come when no authority will survive. Truth is the only authority. What works lives, what doesn't work dies. Good times. Unfortunately, we have created a movement in the world, education being the core of it. There are many other aspects. Education is the core of it, where it's always about conquering the world. Right from kindergarten, they're only asking who is number 1, who is number 2, who is number 3, who is number last. Education is a consequence of the general attitude in the society. We have become a conquering mode. I think this is a fallout from the imperial way of existence that we've had for last 3 centuries. That we think we are powerful and we are good only when we have everybody at our feet. Well, with technology, with worldwide growth of human aspiration, having everybody at your feet, times are over. But still we have not managed to change the education system fundamentally. Here, still you're struggling, who conquers whom? When you want to race with somebody, or when you think life is a race, all you want to do is get to the finish line fast, isn't it? Hello? If entire life is a race, finish line is death. Why don't you get there quick? Hello? Is that what you want? People are telling me that is also happening in the universities, unfortunately. That is also happening, most unfortunate. Why would a young person want to take his own life? When they want to take their own life, we are doing something very fundamentally wrong in the society. The main problem is this: we want everybody to be conquerors. Not everybody has a heart to be a conqueror. Not everybody wants to conquer anything. Hello? Everybody would want to explore, engage, understand, but not everybody wants to conquer. But we have set the whole world in a conquest mode. So the only way is all the sensitive people will get trampled, the crudest lot will get to the top. Not a good way to structure this society and this world. It's time we change the structures which make people… Education is an important process because nearly 90% of the human population is passing through that one sieve, isn't it? Hello? This sieve should become a sensitive, very humanistic sieve. This should not be an imperial sieve, this should not be an Adolf Hitler or Alexander the Great kind of sieve. Right now we are trying to produce them. We are trying to produce them always. We are trying to produce tyrants who will enjoy other people's failures, isn't it? Hello? I want to be number one means what? I enjoy, all of you have failed. Why? Why have we brought this about? It's time the youth of this world stand up and demand a more sensitive, humanistic education process for your own growth, well-being and the well-being of the world, because this world is yours tomorrow.
And you, as one of the people with some direct impact on the land, have taken on the challenge of planting 2.4 billion trees to rehabilitate the Cauvery Basin in India. To me, 2 billion trees sounds like a really huge number.
Well, 2.42 billion trees definitely sounds like a large number. But that number, 1.3 billion people in dry lands, which is keeping Ibrahim awake in the night, is what I see as a solution, because India's population is about that. So these 1.3 billion people, if all of us commit to plant just 2 trees in the next 12 years, you got the number, all right, largely. So, our problems and solutions are not separate. If we harness a certain dimension, it becomes a solution. If we leave it unharnessed, it becomes a problem. So right now, will we harness this towards a solution or not is the only question. Cauvery calling is addressing Cauvery Basin, which amounts for 83 to 84,000 square kilometers. To replenish the soil, you need leaves from the trees and animal waste. But both these things are missing. As Ibrahim was saying that whatever you do somewhere, somebody is growing it, all right? And now the markets are all over the world, so you don't sell only locally because it can always be sold at the other end of the world. So when this is the case, maintaining soil fertility, the richness of biodiversity in our soils is the prime responsibility. That's what Cauvery calling is about.
I would like to really finish by thanking you again.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight is Center of Light Magical. I exist. I exist. That's magic. Something Sadhguru said in his talk, I went and find something that I wrote about what Sadhguru said as an echo to education in children. What are we teaching them? We're teaching them how to get out of magic. It's tragic. In the school system, get out of magic. The meme, education should not be about children conforming to the system's way of teaching. Instead, it should be about the system expanding to the children's way of learning, helping them to tap into their magic. Not what to think, how to think. In balance, in purpose, self-worth. They see the validations of self-projections. See, because the word projection seems to imply this negative connotation. I'm projecting. No matter how cluttered or clear, we all project. In fact, your very being on this planet is a projection from the you that exists at the source level. You're projecting your energies on this earth plane. Consciously or not, is what becomes the question. My bro Ham Sandwich, Ted Ruiz, says, ever since I was a kid, I thought it was amazing that I even existed, right? People say I want to die. Well, one, you can't die, but they say I want to die and go to sleep forever. Well, not only can you not die, you cannot go to sleep forever. That's bucking the current of universal law. It can't happen. Ever since I was a kid, I thought it was amazing that I even existed. What if, I haven't read the rest of it yet, but let's capitalize that. What if I never existed? I always thought. Would I even be aware of who I am? See, that's the conundrum. That's the ham sandwich with mayonnaise on it. None of us can get out of this equation ever. Leanne says, how to plant food to heal soil and access water. These are all elements of life. It's evidence of why we are here and able to be so. It's magic. Tonight is Center of Light Magical. I exist. From my most recent release, Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, bestseller about almost 2 years ago. My dialogue with Spirit. Spirit begins. Earth is so beautiful, a precious jewel floating in space. Yet, there are many who do not appreciate this glorious planet, who continue to regard it as a place to plunder. Almost everything I have created to maintain balance in your ecosystem is being polluted and destroyed. Polluted. The minds of children are being polluted. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Right? The ecosystem is being polluted and destroyed by such people as these. And if they're allowed to continue, there will be little left that makes life worthwhile. No more magic, basically. The entire universe, tonight we're speaking about magic, miracles, manifesting, alignment, serendipity, synchronicity. The entire universe is in a constant state of change. This never changes. Rule number 4. Rule number 1, I exist, you exist. Rule number 2, let me get my rules. Rule number 2, all is one and one is all. Rule number 3, what you put out, you get back. Rule number 4, the only thing that never changes is change itself. Back to Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. The entire universe is in a constant state of change. This never changes. Yet within this paradox, there has to be something that is fixed, permanent and absolute, an anchor that moors the universe's intention, order, direction, and unfolding. That something is God, the unchanging changer. Because you have begun to do so much internal work, Keith, your perceptions are heightened. This is really important of how the magic, we wield the magic consciously, using the will, the heart, the fire, desire in this regard. Because you've begun to do so much internal work, Keith, our perceptions are being heightened. And right now, this was 1997. Hello, Rebecca. Flux. Yes, Leanne. Your perceptions are being heightened. And right now, it seems to you that there are more changes happening than ever before. Basically, this is not true. It is true, but it's not the truth. The fact is that nothing really has changed except your level of awareness. Back before it developed, what never seemed to change was that nothing seemed to be going right in your life. But your new cognizance has altered that for you, has it not? And I respond, yep, it has. And I believe in magic, basically. And yes, I believe I'm really starting to make some sort of sense of this paradox thing. Spirit responds, you think? Well, my friend, you are correct. Because I can see with each passing day that you are spotting the synchronicity, coincidences in your life and are beginning to freely interact with them. And I say, wow. So where does synchronicity come from? How does it manifest and what does it mean? This is what I mentioned a minute ago that I wanted you really to hyper key in on. The process of manifesting, the process of being able to recognize synchronicity. Oh, wow, I'm in alignment. It requires a conscious awareness to go, oh, wow, I'm in alignment. Otherwise, we're always in alignment. We're just either aware of it or not. And this is the process. Spirit explains. And I ask, So where does synchronicity come from? How does it manifest? And what does it mean? It is born out of my essence in the causal realm. From there, it swirls through your mind into your feelings, aligning events around you on the earth plane. But coincidences have no significance other than to get your attention through higher means so that you can grasp consciously the very alignment you are in. Because you are beginning to truly open your eyes and ears, you can hear the higher language of light and can at last see order in what has always appeared to be chaos. And I respond, I can see the chaos, and every once in a while, all those years ago, and still, every once in a while, I can see the order. But it's still a little challenging for me to see the order in chaos. And Spirit says, keep looking, Keith, because chaos is like a snow globe whose contents may be shaken, but whose shimmering flakes always settle back into order. So it is in the physical universe. Though things may be shaken, they still find their place to settle. Now, do you see how there is order even in chaos? And I say, sorta. Soon, my friend, soon. As you continue to awaken, everything will come into clearer view. The pace of change will quicken for you. This is where we are. And it's going to exponentiate, and the gate is going to bust wide open, which is it already is. In fact, the gate's doors are no longer going to exist. They're going to explode off of their hinges. As we all, Spirit speaks, as you all continue to awaken, everything will come into clearer view. The pace of change will quicken for you, and synchronized phenomena will occur more frequently. The more you can successfully navigate using the compass of synchronicity, the more effective consciously I become of my power. The more effective you will be as the captain of your own mastership. A mastership, a boat, the one that you command, the one you navigate, the one that you are in the house, the bridge, crossing the bridge for the soul. You are in the bridge, able consciously to wield your magic with love, on purpose, to help yourself, ourself, and everyone around us. Then nothing will slip by you unmonitored, and the wake of your past, because we awake, the wake of your past will be replaced with your own willpower. Dear Lord says, this is how we evolve. This is where we are. Tonight is Center of Light Magical. I exist. I'm going to do a song here, go to a song break, come back, close up. Magical. What is magical? I don't know. What is it? I know that you can look back in your life and see something that was not just a serendipity or an alignment, and those are wonderful things, but I use the word magic on purpose because magic, children believe in magic. They go to magic shows. They go to Chuck E. Cheese. They go to the circus. They believe in Santa Claus. Magic. It's beautiful, I tell you. It's tragic that so many adults, including myself, that we have lost. But it's also beautiful that we have lost it so we can find it again. Again, this is why we're here. To play, to lose, to win, to go to sleep, to wake up. Let's see what we're going to play. Let me play you something off of, let's do 2B1. My Lavender Soul band, spiritual band from many years ago, comprised of members of the Memphis Symphony Orchestra. 2B1. You want to get into magic? Fall into one. The white magic of life. Check out this boy singing. It's amazing. See you shortly.
making one of 100 million pieces, making one of each and every heart, giving one love like you really mean it, seeing one in each other every day. Loving one is how to get to heaven. Sharing one, the love that you are. Hearing one, that little voice inside. Being one with all the people. Your own peaceful heart, causing one to feel peace too. And that's the way. And that's the way to be one. Being one that lives to make a difference. Caring for one who really needs a friend. Opening one to truth that they see, yeah. Lifting one to dwell in the kingdom. Dwell in the kingdom. Sending one only thoughts of happiness. Receiving one love that's your gift. Think as one ends the separation. Being one saves the world. Teaching one all the children about love. Finding one your own peaceful heart, causing one to feel peace too. And that's the way. That's the way. Teaching one all the children about love. Finding one your own peaceful heart, cause the world to feel peace too. And that's the way. That's the way to be one. To be one. To be
Center of light, magical. I exist. Unicorns exist. We all exist. Everyone deserves praise, glory, acknowledgement. Beautiful, simple, magical ideas. Shouldn't that always be the tendency? I think so. Don't lose your magic. You do that simply by realizing you are the magic. The tragic happens when we lose the innocence, but also know that in a moment you can simply flee back to it just by remembering your youthful nature. It's your essence. Mother Nature, your mother. Father Nature, Yeshua, Jesus, your brother. We are all related. That's the magic. Everyone holds a piece of the puzzle. That's the magic. Bring forth your light. Shine it bright. Let everyone know that you are a sorcerer, one from the source that wields and wills forth your power every second, every minute, every hour to shower on the face divine grace that puts us all into heaven and earth space. You are magical. You unicorn dragon, you. I love you.